Hello, my name is Alexandra Franz, and I am a dietetic intern with Penn State Extension. Bone broth has become a popular topic among the public. Many articles, newspapers, and blogs have various health claims surrounding bone broth. Claims include that bone broth will strengthen your bones, relieve joint pain, improve your digestion, and cause firmer skin. Many of the reported health claims revolve around something called collagen. Collagen is the main protein in your body. It functions to protect your organs, joints, and tendons. It holds together bones and muscles and maintains the lining of your gastrointestinal tract. Collagen is also found in animal bones used to make bone broth. People believe that when collagen from the bones goes into the broth and you eat it, it becomes collagen in your body, and it helps with stronger bones, joint pain, improved digestion, and firmer skin. However, when collagen is consumed, it cannot be used in its whole form. It is actually broken down in the body. Therefore, according to research, bone broth does not help with these things. Another claim about bone broth is that it is a good source of minerals such as calcium, magnesium, zinc, iron, copper, and chromium, and that it can contain toxic levels of lead, aluminum, and cadmium that are leached from the bones. According to research, these claims are not true. A research study that examined multiple types of bone broth found that the calcium and magnesium levels are no more than tenths of a milligram per serving, which means that the bone broth is a very small contribution to the daily calcium and magnesium requirements. Additionally, heavy metals like lead and cadmium are only present in concentrations of a few micrograms per serving, which means that the risks associated with ingesting lead and cadmium from bone broth are considered minimal. Another issue with bone broth is the length of time it takes to make. Many recipes online recommend cooking the broth from 8 hours to 24 hours. However, a study that examined the mineral content of bone broth studied broths that were cooked for 24 hours and 72 hours. Even the broth cooked for 72 hours did not provide high amounts of minerals like calcium and magnesium. The long hours needed to cook the bone broth can be intimidating to people, and consumers may be unlikely to take on this endeavor if the nutritional content of essential minerals is lacking. Now that we have examined the health claims regarding bone broth, let's look at the benefits of bone broth. Before I explain the benefits, there are a few definitions that we will go over, so you recognize the terms used throughout the video. An amino acid is essentially a broken down form of protein. So if you remember back to when we talked about collagen, it is a protein that is consumed and then gets broken down into an amino acid. Amino acids can be considered essential or non-essential. Essential amino acids are those that the human body cannot make, so they have to be consumed through food. Non-essential amino acids can be made by the human body and can also be consumed through food. An example of an essential amino acid is methionine. Methionine is important for assisting the liver remove toxins that enter the body and in creating other amino acids that the body needs. Methionine is found in various foods, but for this talk we will focus on it coming from the muscles of animals. For example, a chicken breast would be a good source of methionine. Glycine is considered a non-essential amino acid. However, glycine is an important partner to methionine. And while the body makes glycine, it is important to consume glycine as well. Glycine is found in animal products too. However, it comes from the skin, bones, and ligaments, which people typically do not eat. While methionine is important, it can build up in the body and result in some health issues. In order to prevent this from happening, we need glycine. Glycine is needed to help the body cleanse any excess methionine that it does not need. So why is glycine important? Glycine not only helps the body get rid of excess methionine, but it also has been researched as a benefit in reducing alcohol-induced liver damage and protecting against several intestinal disorders. And as I mentioned before, glycine comes from the bones and skin of an animal, so putting it into a broth is a more appetizing way to consume glycine. Another benefit of bone broth is that it provides more protein than regular meat broth. On average, chicken bone broth provides almost 9 grams more protein than regular chicken broth. If you are going to make bone broth, it is recommended to include multiple vegetables in the pot with the bones. We know that vegetables provide a wide variety of vitamins and minerals, so adding them to the broth will increase the amount of nutrients we consume in the broth. To wrap up, remember that there is no current research supporting the health claims on bone broth. Bone broth does not provide large amounts of essential minerals like calcium and magnesium, and it does not provide dangerous amounts of toxic minerals like lead and cadmium. Additionally, making bone broth is a lengthy process. However, it can provide glycine, it is a good source of protein, and adding vegetables when creating the broth will increase vitamins and minerals in the broth. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now you have a better understanding of the benefits of bone broth and the claims surrounding bone broth that are not supported by scientific research. Remember, if you are going to make your own bone broth, it is beneficial to add a variety of vegetables, which will provide additional vitamins and minerals.